first premiered in the summer of 2000 and in February of 2020 will premiere our 40th season. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, internet, my name is Peridiam, and let's talk about Survivor Winners at War. Specifically, which seasons should you watch leading up to watching this one? Because make no mistake, Winners at War is the most epic clash of the titans we will probably ever see in Survivor history. And I'm not one to use the word epic liberally. Consider this video a handy resource to prepare yourself for this 40th season featuring 20 previous winners competing against one another for the title of Ultimate Sole Survivor. Let me explain how this video will work, because there are a lot of people out there who have seen all kinds of seasons, and most certainly my recommended list won't apply to everyone. For starters, there will be no spoilers for either Winners at War, obviously, or any of the seasons that I will be talking about in this video. I won't be listing any of the winners on any of these seasons. Instead, I will merely be listing all of the seasons that are represented on Winners at War, as well as later on discussing the seasons I think you should prioritize if you want to expedite the viewing process. After all, 20 seasons is a lot. And who doesn't love to cut a corner to get to the good stuff? Well, okay, all of Survivor's the good stuff, but I hear ya. I'll put the timestamps in the description below if you would like to jump around, but otherwise, here's the spoiler-free list of every season that features a winner on Winners at War. As you can see, there's a lot of ground to cover, with 20 winners cast on season 40. But this is the complete list of every season you would need to watch to see the winning games of the winners. Feel free to pause the video if need be, and then come back in a year after you've finished. I'll understand. It's important to note that while all of these seasons feature winning games from players on season 40, many of the winners from these seasons have played multiple times on other seasons and they didn't win. Sometimes as upwards as 4 times. Sometimes you'll have overlap where winners from previous seasons play again and then lose, but the person they lost to funny enough, is also on Winners at War. Basically, there are so many twisting, tangled narratives, crossovers, friendships, and rivalries between all of these winners cast on season 40, and all I gotta say is, editors, I wish you way more than luck. If you want to see the complete list of every season throughout all of Survivor that features a player from Winners at War, whether they won or lost that season, here's that list. So yeah, that's a lot of Survivor. I don't even know what to say other than I hope you enjoy the show, at least a little bit.
After all of Survivor's physical challenges and mental tests, all the sweat, the pain, the hunger, the exhaustion, all the scheming and all the drama, one obstacle still remains.
Probst. Snuffing the torch. Man, I'd like to snuff that guy's torch.
See, when I joined the Survivor community, there were only half as many seasons in the Survivor archives. I started with season 18, and then coincidentally 2 seasons later, a mega all-star season happened, season 20, and I rapidly had to catch up to be prepared to fully enjoy that season for all it was worth. And I literally did manage to watch seasons 1 through 17 in time for that premiere. I guess you could say I enjoyed the show a little bit. So I sympathize with those of you out there who are trying to catch up or are trying to prepare yourselves even after Winners at War has already aired. A lot of times people ask me which seasons to watch to prepare for all-star seasons that have already aired, and I give them recommendations to work on. Just because it's already aired doesn't mean it can't be enjoyed any less than when it was live. But let's say you don't have the time or the energy to watch like 20 or so seasons of Survivor. What should you prioritize? Well, here are my top 5 recommendations in order.
But which is the better strategy, playing fair or playing dirty? We're putting that question to the test in the upcoming Survivor Heroes vs. Villains.
The first season I recommend watching is in fact that season I prepared myself for over a decade ago. It's season 20, Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. This season is an all-star cast of 20 returning players, so you might not know all of the backstories going into the season, but I'm sure at face value you will enjoy yourselves all the same. It is widely regarded as one of the best seasons in the archives, and for good reason. The cast is electric, the gameplay is really fun, and there's a ton of great moments to chew on and digest just about, pretty much every single episode. I quickly want to point out that some people might say you shouldn't watch all-star seasons without having seen the returning players' original seasons. In fact, I've been saying that ever since I got into watching Survivor. It definitely helps to know the backstories of all of the players going in because this is like a meeting of the minds. It's the best of the best. But I think an exception has to be made for Winners at War. I think with 40 seasons of the show up to this point, getting ready for this season, there's way more ground to cover now than when I first began watching, and I think it's a lot to ask of someone that in order to watch a season, to catch up for another season, you need to go back and watch like 10 or so other seasons first. The point is to cut corners for one season, Winners at War, and that takes priority in this video. Season 20, Heroes vs. Villains, features several winners in Winners at War, so I think it's a must if you want to expedite the process and have a great viewing experience at the same time. Okay, that wasn't a quick point, but it needed to be said. It's a radical shift in ideology from what I would usually say, so I wanted to explain myself. The next season I recommend checking out after Season 20 is Season 8, Survivor All-Stars.
18 former castaways returning to play the ultimate game one more time. They say they're the best of the best. Well, it's time to prove it. Have they learned from their past, or are they doomed to make the same mistakes again? And will old relationships come back to help them or haunt them?
Yep, another all-star returning player season. This one is the first, and some might say the best. What? Don't give me that look. I'm positive some people think that. There's nothing wrong with that. Similar to Heroes vs. Villains, Season 8 All-Stars features several winners who will be returning for Winners at War. It's also the first All-Star season in all of Survivor, so it'll be kind of cool to see how the old school returning player season compares to the newer one. It's definitely a slower, old school season, but in my opinion, if you're trying to prepare for Winners at War, it's definitely important to know as many of the faces as possible. All-Stars will give you a handful of them. And by that same token, following this sentiment, the third season I recommend is Season 34, Survivor Game Changers. One of the more modern All-Star seasons, Game Changers is the previous season to Winners at War to feature all returning players battling it out. I think more than anything, if ever a season would give you the most similar impression to what Winners at War will be like, this is that season. And I mean that. All-Star seasons of Survivor operate on a different wavelength than other seasons featuring new players or mixed players. The tempo of the season is going to be fast, chaotic, the strategy will be top tier, and the overall feel will be different than your average season. All-Stars don't happen very often. Winners at War is only the 5th out of 40, and so I think it's important to get accustomed to the pacing as it's not going to be the same as most of the seasons before it. So if I've already recommended 3 of the previous 4 All-Star seasons, you can assume that the 4th one is going to be number 4, right? Well, sorta. Season 31, Survivor Cambodia Second Chance, is absolutely worth a watch, but it's not as important as a prelude to Winners at War, I would say. It only features one winner from Season 40, but it is still an all-star season, and it is still worth checking out. So while I do recommend it, I may have to sort of bump it down maybe to like 6th or so in my recommendations order in this watch order, because the number 4 and number 5 seasons I recommend you check out to get prepared for Winners at War are both going to be new player seasons. They feature several winners, but none of them had won the game just yet. And they're all on Season 40 now. The 4th season I recommend watching is Season 13, Survivor Cook Islands.
They have been divided into 4 very unique tribes: Asian American, Caucasian, Latino, and African American.
Watch it!
It is a social experiment like never before.
I mean, is that kosher? I don't know.
Cook Islands is a really fun season to start watching Survivor with. It has one of the most popular winners ever, as well as one of the most important casts, in my opinion, in all 40 seasons, especially for a season full of rookies. I definitely recommend checking that out, and then right after, jumping over and checking out Season 28, Survivor Cagayan. Cagayan is another great season to watch to prepare yourself for Season 40, featuring several winners in their rookie years who play the game really hard in their first outing. It's also just a great season of Survivor, one of the best casts ever assembled. It also may be one of the fastest paced new player seasons and could serve well as an appetizer for winners at war. Also, a personal anecdote, I just think that the winner of Cagayan is someone you need to experience firsthand, perhaps more than any of the winners on season 40. Needless to say, there are a lot of seasons you can watch to prepare yourself for what should be the Super Bowl of the Survivor universe. And yet, somehow, I bet someone, somewhere, at some point, is going to say that whoever wins this season, Winners at War, they just played against a weak cast. Anyone could win the all-winner season. And if by chance you have seen all of these recommended seasons, and you're still curious, which season should you watch next other than maybe these 6? Feel free to reach out to me on social media, links are in the description, and ask me personally. Also, for those of you out there who are Survivor veterans, if you want to pitch any recommendations in the comment section that I did not talk about in this video, feel free to do that too. Pitch your case, there is a lot to go around. No matter the recommendation, in the end, my name is still Peridiam, saying thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you even just a little bit. Don't forget to tell me you have seen every season and this video did nothing for you on your way out, and I will see you in the next one once I finally finish my rewatch of Survivor Africa. Because holy crap, a record-breaking 32 season gap between playing the game, I have never been more ready to not eat the ham.
He did me wrong. I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. After I kiss you, ham, he's a Jew and he won't eat the ham. He's a Jew.
Oh my God.
Thank you. It's all right. We hit the jackpot.
Yeah, we did. My friends, that's it. Hope you had fun.
Oh, did we? I did.